I am so excited because this is officially launching MadeQueen. And the Lord brought me through this beautiful journey in 2025, reading specific books of the Bible. And one place He had me meditating for a long time was Esther. And I believe here that, like Queen Esther, I was made for a time as this, and you were too. So here we go. We are starting day one of our 31 days in Proverbs. I'm reading from the CSB here. Here we go. Proverbs chapter 1. The purpose of Proverbs. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for learning wisdom and discipline, for understanding insightful sayings, for receiving prudent instruction in righteousness, justice, and integrity, for teaching shrewdness to the inexperienced, knowledge and discretion to a young man. Let a wise person listen and increase learning, and let a discerning person obtain guidance, for understanding a proverb or a parable, the words of the wise and their riddles. I want to bring it to the first line, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel. If we look back in 1 Kings chapter 4, verses 29 through 31. I don't know this off the top of my head. I have it written in my Bible. That's how I know this. Verses 29 through 31, it says, God gave Solomon wisdom, very great insight and understanding, as vast as the sand on the seashore. Solomon's wisdom was greater than the wisdom of all people of the East, greater than all the wisdom of Egypt. He was wiser than anyone, wiser than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, Calcol, and Darda, sons of Mahol. His reputation extended to all the surrounding nations. Therefore, those verses tell us that Solomon, the writer of not all of these proverbs, but this one for sure in particular, he is the wisest person in the world. That's what it tells us. So we know that. We know that if we want wisdom, we can trust these words because God gave Solomon the gift of wisdom and he wrote this. Okay, we continue into verse 4. For teaching shrewdness and to the inexperienced, knowledge and discretion to a young man. I have it written here that young people, they might act foolishly, but they're not a fool. As we're learning, we might act foolishly. We are not deemed a fool, not yet. We can still seek wisdom and be wise. But these are especially, Proverbs were especially taught to young people a lot of times by their mother and father. You'll hear a lot, your father's instruction, those phrases as we continue reading. Verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Right there, verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. If you want to be wise, you have to fear the Lord. And the last part of that verse, fools despise wisdom and discipline. Fools will reject teaching because they believe they are already wise. So to not be willing to be taught, to learn, that tells you that you're a fool because you already think that you're wise. We all are still learning, unless we're here in the Bible like Solomon being said, and it's written about you that God gifted you to be the wisest person in the world. We can all learn. Okay, avoid the path of the violent, verse 8. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and don't reject your mother's teaching, for they will be a garland of favor on your head and pendants around your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. Okay, let me circle back to verse 8 and 9. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and don't reject your mother's teaching, for they will be a garland of favor in your head, around your head, and pendants around your neck. So if you keep the instruction and the teaching and the wisdom, especially of Proverbs, with you, then you're going to, there's just going to be favor for you. Be smart. Do that. That's in simple terms. My son, if sinners entice you, don't be persuaded. If they say, come with us, let's set an ambush and kill someone. Let's attack some innocent person just for fun. Let's swallow them alive like Sheol, whole, like those who go down to the pit. We'll find all kinds of valuable property and fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us, and we'll all share the loot. Do that. Verse 15, my son, don't travel that road with them or set foot on their path, because their feet run toward evil and they are hurried to shed blood. Being in the company of wicked people, eventually you're going to start, when you associate with them too much in their bad behavior, you're going to start to behave like them. I tend to say, you hang around trash, you're going to start to stink, which isn't very nice, actually, to say. But the point is that even though Jesus sat with sinners, he didn't sin with them. So it's important that we still associate with sinners. It doesn't mean that we leave them out, but we don't sin along with them. It is useless to spread a net where any bird can see it, but they set an ambush to kill themselves. They attack their own lives. Such are the paths of all who make profit dishonestly. It takes the lives of those who receive. When you're dishonest, you are setting your own trap for your life. You are just waiting to get caught in your lie. Wisdom's plea. Wisdom calls out in the street. She makes her voice heard in public squares. Wisdom wants to be heard. She calls out so you can hear her. Listen. Don't ignore her. She cries out above the commotion. She speaks at the entrance of the city gates. How long, inexperienced ones, will you love ignorance? How long will you mockers enjoy mocking and you fools hate knowledge? If you respond to my warning, then I will pour out my spirit on you and teach you my words. Since I called out and you refused, extended my hand and no one paid attention, since you neglected all my counsel and did not accept my correction, I, in turn, will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when terror strikes you, when terror strikes you like a storm and your calamity comes like a whirlwind. When trouble and stress overcome you, then they will call me, but I won't answer. They will search for me, but won't find me, because they hated knowledge, didn't choose to fear the Lord, were not interested in my counsel, and rejected all my correction. Wow. When we don't listen to wisdom, when we choose not to fear the Lord, it's just that I read something about this. I can't remember it now, which is great that I'm saying that in this video, but you can do the research yourself too. I can look into it more. I will look into it more actually after I finish recording this. But it's not that God is laughing at us when we don't listen to him. It's just that he's a righteous judge and he's going to judge us. The day's going to come where we're going to be judged. So right now is the time when we choose if we're going to fear the Lord or if we're going to keep going in our own ways or follow fools. Verse 28, then they will call me, but I won't answer. They will search for me, but won't find me, because they hated knowledge and didn't choose to fear the Lord. Okay, I did read that. Verse 30, were not interested in my counsel and rejected all my correction. They will eat the fruit of their way and be glutted with their own schemes. For apostasy of the inexperienced will kill them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will live securely and be undisturbed by the dread of danger. You fear the Lord and you live honestly. You're not going to live in fear. You're not going to worry about that lie that you told, about someone finding out the truth. You're not going to have that extra anxiety that you will if you're living lies, if you're living wrong, if you're making wrong choices. There's not going to be that fear. Okay, we made it through Proverbs 1. We did it. Day 1, done. I can't wait to keep going on this journey through the Proverbs this whole January. Remember, too, we are going to be memorizing Ecclesiastes Chapter 1 through January. So I'm going to be putting up my weekly update on how much I have memorized. I'm nervous for this. But I can't wait to see how we do it. Can't wait to see how you do. I will see you tomorrow for Proverbs chapter 2.